How you doing, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to M&A Club. Let's get into the topic of today. Are you setting unrealistic expectations in any facets of your life? I realize a lot of people are setting unrealistic expectations. I want to be very careful with the angle I'm getting this at. I want to be very careful with the angle I'm getting this at because I don't want also people to think, okay, now let me set very low expectations. So let's get into it. Number one, I want to start with the truth of life. One of the truth of life, there's only two things promised: death and taxes. There's two things promised while you live on this earth. You're going to die and you're going to pay some taxes, especially in America. You're going to pay some taxes. Number two, a lot of misery is from people who have unrealistic expectations. Not saying you can't meet or work to your expectations or work to your goals, high goals and aspirations. I'm not saying that. You could. But a lot of people are having dreams of grandeur, having these very childlike mentality and dreams. And I used to do that. I'm not going to lie and be like, oh, this is something that's really running rampant, especially around young people. That's why you see people like Kevin Samuels pop up, the red pills popping up, because a lot of people, especially and a lot of females, are waking up like, oh my gosh, like, there's not a lot of men who's at this level, or there's not a lot of men this and that, or I have very crazy expectations. And not saying that that expectation can't be met, but the likelihood of that expectation to be met is very low, depending on who you are, especially depending on who you are. And I want to start with this. Know your work ethic, know your level in life, know your aspirations, and know your ambition. Because with those questions, or just knowing that, you know where your ceiling is at. I can't be over here broke, not doing nothing with my life, and I'm talking about I want a pay cash for a BMW. Somebody could probably give me a BMW. Who knows? I probably want a BMW in a raffle. Who knows? But the expectation that happened is very slim. And I'm not saying it can't happen. That's one thing I don't want to people to go, oh, he's saying I can't have, he's down in my dream down. No, what I'm saying to you is that live life in a realistic lens, but still dream, still have your aspirations, still have those high expectations, but don't wrap around it in a way of like a vine wrapping around a wall or a tree, because it will end up sinking you down, end up squeezing you. Because it's the problem with a lot of people. It's the problem with a lot of people that I see. A lot of people want to be millionaires, billionaires. They talking about all this, but they don't know the work behind it. That's a very good example. This is one example of setting unrealistic expectations. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a billionaire. It's possible, but what systems and what process do you have in place to become that? What investments are you going to do? What business are you going to have to do? Because the fastest way to wealth, you could invest, but invest in the long term. Oh yeah, I'm investing right now. And if I keep going investing, I'm gonna be a millionaire in my 60s. But how can I be a millionaire in 5, 10, 20 years from now? You have to do a business. You get lucky and hit an investment. You can get lucky and hit cryptocurrencies and like Dogecoin and whatnot. You could get lucky. That not saying that's not gonna happen. But the realistic expectation is, if I want to be a millionaire or a billionaire, what systems and processes do I have in place to help me reach that goal? A lot of people don't break down that. So it's not really an unrealistic expectation, but it's unrealistic expectation of the person behind that goal. I kind of messed up saying that. If somebody has an unrealistic expectation, but it's not putting in their work, or it's not setting a system and process in place to reach that goal, it's unrealistic. That's a better way to put it. If you don't have a realistic way, or not even realistic, if you don't have a goal, or you didn't break down your goal, you don't have systems and process to reach the expectation of that goal, it's unrealistic. That's a way better place to say it. That's a way better way. One of my mentors was telling me, he's like, people like, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a billionaire, not knowing what you have to do in order to reach that stage or that point. And you could get lucky, hit the lotto, but what's the chances of that? So a lot of people end up having this wish, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be a billionaire, without really thinking, okay, If I have a product, how many items do I have to sell in order to make this? What do I have to do? What system process I have to make? No, but they say I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm gonna be a billionaire. That's all I know. That's all I know. And you look, and a lot of people are having these dreams of grandeur. A lot of people are having these fallacious, these very high goals for themselves that they didn't break down so they can meet them goals and expectations. So they end up literally killing and battering themselves because now their goals and their unrealistic expectations become a poison in their life. They set their life by that. And I'm the first person to say you should have goals, you should have ambitions, and put them up to the highest level. There's some goals in the business I look at, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't know, man. But I broke them down. So it's okay, if I do this, if this works out, I could do it. But since I broke it down, I know this is not unrealistic. But somebody else comes and looks at me like, yeah, I want to save $100,000. And they're over here working a $20,000, $30,000 job. They don't have no investments. Their rent is $2,000 a month. Their car pay. So I look, so all their money's getting consumed by their living. How you going to save $100,000? So even that amount is unrealistic to some people. But if somebody's working a six-figure job, making $100,000, and after tax they make it $70,000, their living is $40,000. That means they have $30,000 left over. Let's take away like $5,000. Let's say they use $5,000 for the miscellaneous spending. Now they're left with $25,000. Within 4 years, they'll have $100,000 saved up. Now that unrealistic expectation of that person making $30,000 a year is not an unrealistic expectation of somebody who has a higher, is making more money, has a higher salary, or has a higher income. So I really encourage you, if you have an unrealistic expectation, not saying it's unrealistic. That's one thing I really want to really press upon you. Not saying your expectations, your goals are unrealistic, but if you don't have a goal, a system, and a process to meet that expectation, the likelihood of that happening is unrealistic. That's what I'm trying to say. If you don't have any goal, system, and process to reach it, it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. Let's be real. I'm gonna talk in dating. That female say, I want a six-figure guy, I want a rich guy, I want a rich guy, I want to make guys making over 6 figures. But the way you dress, the way you carry yourself like a guy who's making $10,000, $20,000 supposed to have you. And that's just straight honest. Instead, and this I've seen this a lot of, even with females. Females want what females want. Females will always want a rich guy. That would never die. That would never die. But as a female, you gotta think of this. I want this type of guy. Where can I go to meet this type of guy? Now you're having a system and process and standards in place to reach that goal. So if you are a lady, it's like this, that I want to have this type of guy. I want a guy who does business, entrepreneurship. Then you're going to have to move different. You're going to have to go to more high-scale restaurants, more high-scale hotels, more high-scale lounges. Because the chance of you meeting a guy that's making that amount in those high-scale places are very high. Now you increase your chances. But you want to go to the hood. You want to go to your local bodega, talking about one 6-figure guy. You wouldn't want to dress like a girl that belongs to a 6-figure guy. You want to dress like a harlot. And there's some 6-figure guy. You attract the rappers, the ball players. You attract that. But if you want the guy who's making legit 6 figures in business or in business work, there's a certain type of level of female that they look for. So you as a female have to be cognizant of that fact. So as a female who just wants to dress whatever, tattoos all over the place, and she's always hanging around the hood, she's always doing this and that, the chance of her meeting somebody who's making 6-figure, a high net worth man, is very minimal, because high net worth individuals don't hang out in those places. So you literally squeezed it to the smallest amount of people. Instead of giving yourself a chance, like, okay, let me change how I dress. Let me fix my teeth. Let me fix my hair. Let me look nice. Let me look presentable. Let me go to these high net worth places that have high net worth individuals. Let me go to these business meetings. Let me go to these real estate places, because this is where high net worth individuals go. Let me go to this investing seminar, because that's where high net worth men go. And I'm not just saying this, I know this, I live this. I'm not there yet. I'm not a high net worth individual yet, but I'll be around. I try my best to surround myself by high net worth individuals. And by me going to these places, I see them. I see people who worth millions of dollars. I see people who have at least 1 or 2 properties in their name, worth $100,000. Hundreds of millions of dollars. I met people like that. But that would have not, if I stayed in the hood, I'm just gonna stay here, I'm just gonna go to the basketball park and just do this, that I would have never surrounded myself by that. So if people saying, I want a 6-figure guy, I want a 6-figure guy, now you gotta look at yourself like, it's okay, I want this type of guy. For the lifestyle I want for my kids, the lifestyle I want for myself, I want this type of guy. How can I meet? How can I increase my chances of meeting this type of guy? Because statistically wise, the only 10% of America's population, and we're not even separating the ladies and the females. I mean, the ladies and the men. It's a very small amount of men are making this money. How can I increase my chances of meeting this guy? But we have him say, I want a 6-figure guy, I want a 6-figure guy, I want a 6-figure guy. And yet, somebody like, you want to know that your actions, the way you act, and how you're moving is very unrealistic. It's very unrealistic that you meet that goal. I'm not saying you can't. Things happen, but it's very unlikely that you will. It's very unlikely that you will, miss. So you see it in all angles. It's also guys like this. I want me a good girl. I want me a high value, a virtuous woman, and you making a little bit of money. You don't got your own place. You don't got nothing. You don't got nothing that makes you a man. And this hurts a lot of brothers, especially in the black community. A lot of times people depend on their swag. They depend on, oh, watch me ride this wave. Let me look this. Let me look this. So now, instead of them performing in the real world, because in the real world, girls don't pay your bills. There's no multi-millionaire that I know who said, I got rich, by going around here being a gigolo. Okay, granted, there are people who probably did get rich back, but the chances, I like saying chances. Never met a multi-millionaire pimp. Never met them yet. Met rich ones. People who have $100,000 to their name. But never met a multi-millionaire pimp. So a lot of people, I see it, especially young men these days, not even the black community, just even around. So most of the time they depend on swag, they depend on how they look to try to attract a virtuous, high quality female. Not knowing that you need to have actions behind that. Being a man, you need to have something behind you. If you're a man that now you're building a business, you're doing real estate, you have a good job, now you become more attractive to a high value versus women or an attractive female. But I see men, they really not doing nothing with their life. They fat, they don't got their body right, they don't got their mental right, they're emotional like a female. They're not going after the bag, they're not going after money, talking about, I want this beautiful female, I want a dime. I want a dime. Oh, you might touch it, you might get a dime, but it won't be for long. Like the female say, I want a high value male, I want a high value male. She walking, smack her lips all over the place, acting very ratchet. Oh, the guy might get you, but you're gonna get released to the wild after a while. So these are unrealistic expectations I've seen on both parties, financially, physically, spiritually, emotionally. And not saying I was trapped in this, but I've seen this sometimes in myself. I want this big goal. And I'm not focused on my goals. I'm not focused on on what I want to do. Now that becomes an unrealistic expectation. When I was like this, okay, I want to go to the gym. I want to bench, my goal is to bench 2 times my body weight. I want to be 200 pounds, bench 400 pounds. And I realized, if I don't hit the gym, that's an unrealistic expectation. That's an unrealistic goal because I'm not setting standards, procedures to reach that goal. So I want you guys to know I'm not over here being a Debbie Downer. I'm not over here saying you can't reach your goals. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is this: if you don't have the standard, if you don't have any procedures, goals, and you break down benchmarks to reach that big goal, it's unrealistic. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I know people to this day like, oh, I want to get closer to the to God. I want to get closer to God, X, Y, and Z. But then they're not doing any efforts behind that. They're not praying. They're not meditating. Whatever you use to get closer to the higher power, they're not doing that. So now that becomes an unrealistic expectation. So get rid of yourself of these unrealistic expectations. Know where you at in life, because that's just living in delusion. I wouldn't get a BMW right now, but I know I'm like, it's okay if I get a BMW right now. That'll put me that's an economic setback. I could bounce back from that because I increase my income, but that's not really a smart move. I can't pay a BMW cash yet. So now me thinking like that, now things change. So a lot of people living in delusion. Don't live in delusion. Don't live in dreams of grandeur. Especially if you're over. I tell you, when I was hitting 20, 23, 22, mostly at 23, 22, 23, I knew I have to do something. Time is ticking. Time is ticking. There's going to be a point in time where people look at me it's like this. Yeah, you're in your 20s. You're young. But it's going to be a point when you hit that 30-something mark. What have you done with your life? What have you done these 10 years? What do you have to show for it? I don't want to be in my my 30s, early 30s, or my 30s at all, with driving the same Nissan Versa that I had. I won't be the same person like, oh yeah, I'm just doing this, living in this in the very in a bad neighborhood. I don't want to be that person. Because I guess you 10 years of your life, what have you done? After you got from high school, the time is ticking. That's something I'm gonna say the unrealistic expectation of men, or what men tend not to know or realize. When you get out of high school, that's when stuff really gets real. People start getting real like, oh, I'm in my 30s, now let me get real. That's when things get real. Things get really, really real when you start hitting 25. People want to see something. By 30, they want you solidified. By 30, in your 30s, they want something. They have to see something. They have to see something. And a lot of men are not really conscious of it. I'll make another video about that. But set realistic expectations. And if you want to set unrealistic expectations, do it. I actually encourage people to set unrealistic expectations because it raises the ceiling up and it pushes you, it puts stress upon it. It pushes you to be the best you could be. But on the same token, I want you guys to have goals, procedures, standards, systems in place to help you reach those goals. You get me? If I want $100,000, it's a good example. Charlie Murray said, once you work till you reach $100,000, then you could ease the gas off the pedal a little bit. If you want that, break it down. A lot of people don't even save $100,000 in their life. Break it down by, okay, how can I reach $100,000? I need to get a higher paying job. I need to lower I'm paying $3,000 worth of rent. Let me lower my rent. Let me move to a place that's a nice place that I could pay $1,200, $1,500. My car notes, this is a car I really need right now. Let me downsize my car. Let me pay a car cash. Doing little things like that, increasing your income. Now, if you have $20,000, $30,000 left over in 5 years, $20,000 in 5 years, you have $100,000 saved. So as I was saying, I don't like saying unrealistic expectations, but a lot of people do have unrealistic expectations. To make it realistic, or to make it something that's manageable, break it down. Have standard procedures, processes in place to help you reach those goals. Don't leave if you're a person watching that's over the age of 18, don't live in dreams of grandeur. Don't live in delusion. Okay, don't live in delusion like when I say high value male. I want a high value male. I'm a lady. I want a high value male. No high value male is gonna get dropped in your lap. You could pray from sun up to sundown, but if you act upon it, if you be like, it's okay, let me go around these high net worth individuals. Let me go around X, Y, and Z. Now you increase the chances of that happening. Now it becomes a realistic goal because you just rubbing shoulders. If you rubbing shoulders of 10 high net worth individuals, one of them might tickle their fancy. You might tickle their fancy. Same thing for men. I tell men, you can't be over here having nothing. You wonder, how come I'm not getting attraction confirmation by ladies? I don't know what's going on. No. That's like, you look at your life. You want this, but look at you. You're a bum. And it hurts to look yourself in the mirror and look, I'm not up to par. It hurts to say that. It hurts to look in the mirror and be like, it's okay. I don't deserve this. I'm not up to par. It hurts. But that realization is an eye opener for you. That realization will literally change your life. Knowing that I'm not up to par. I need to work harder. I'm not up to par. I try my best to have that mindset everything I do. I was like, okay, I want to get a higher job. I want to make, I want to be in the top 20% of men. I have to. For me, I had to be in the top 20%. I worked on that. And thank God I reached that. But me, I'm like, you know how much work I'm putting in for that? I have to look at myself in the mirror and literally tell myself, I am playing around with life. Life is going to keep going. And I'm going to be in the same position. I have to change something. And I went out there and put in that effort. I want to bench press 2 times my body weight. I'm out here now. I'm putting that effort. Now that unrealistic goal when I was not lifting weights, now I just become realistic. I'm just doing body weight exercises. Not saying you can't bench 400 pounds doing body weight exercises, but the likelihood of that is very abysmal. It's not very high. I've been at it for 21 minutes strong. Jesus Christ, 21 minutes strong, man. They're not doing this. Come holler at me, bro. I like this. I hope you got a lot of good information from this video. I made my notes. I really wrote this all down. I hope you find meaning in this video. I pour my heart and soul into this. I hope you find very good meaning, very good information that help you be a better person than you were yesterday. This is for men, but if you feel watching this, welcome. And just know, ask yourself, are you setting unrealistic expectations? Ask yourself that. And if you are, break down those unrealistic expectations and see how you can make them realistic. How you can increase the chance of that happening. Because the only thing that's promised in life is death and taxes. And life is going to keep going on. So go out there, be the best version of yourself. Work on yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, mentally. Work on yourself. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to be worth it. Comment, like, subscribe. I have the Alpha Strong ebook and the 50% off. The Alpha Strong ebook that teaches you as a man why you need to be strong, why you need to work on yourself as a man. Go click on it. You learn very good information. I put a lot of thought into that ebook. Hopefully you like it. If you read it, leave a good review on that website, please. I'm going to try to publish it on Amazon and all that and Kindle. I'm going to try my best to work on doing that next. Click on it, and also in the link below you have we have the Instagram for this channel, Masculine Alpha Club, and my personal Instagram. Go click on it. Go just check it out, especially the Masculine Alpha Club at Masculine Alpha Club and Instagram. Go follow that. There's so many good nuggets I try to post. So good nuggets I try to post on that Instagram account. So going back, the Alpha Strong, check it out, 50% off for my YouTube viewers. And I will make Alpha Hygiene next. I'm working on that ebook. I'm gonna try to finish that ebook by the end of this month. I'm trying to finish that ebook. I'm trying to publish my ebooks on Amazon and Kindle. Hopefully you like it. Leave a good review. Comment, like, subscribe to this channel if you got good information. I talk about fitness, finance, personal development. That's why I really focus on fitness, finance, and personal development. And this is the things I'm working on in my life right now. So comment, like, subscribe if you want more information on that. Let's go.